1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope everyone enjoyed the new intro theme song.
Welcome. Hello. This is weird because I feel like this time around we actually have an intro. Not even just like an intro, but like we're coming in with a purpose. Like we have to come in with a purpose right out the gate.
Exactly.
And so this will be fun.
There's been no messing around before the podcast started for once. We are just jumping right in.
So I'll have you go. You can go ahead and take lead right now if you want.
All right, everybody. Welcome. So today, sounds like we're going to be talking about some horror stories. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I am an avid fan of the Reddit reading podcasts, such as primarily Smosh Reads Reddit. I have been taking a look at like Two Hot Takes and stuff like that. But as I was going, I noticed I was like, what if we did this, made it spooky?
Oh, yeah.
So today we're going to try something out a little bit different, and we are going to read up some Reddit stories that we found on Reddit of some spooky paranormal stuff. We're going to discuss our thoughts on it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to speak about how creepy the story was and how legitimate we think it is. I know me and Ben were kind of both, whenever I say legitimacy, I think I've seen like Shane talk about like spooky stories and stuff. He's a skeptic, but
he's talking about Shane
he
says doesn't know.
Shane. Yes, exactly. He made a comment of like Courtney Miller's husband. He talks about how he's a skeptic, but he doesn't delegitimify these stories. He's like, I believe that they experienced this, and I think that's what we're going for. Is more so not necessarily if they actually experienced a ghost, but more if they actually experienced this encounter in some form or another. I think that's what we're going to go for, and we're just going to give our 2 cents on it and see what you guys think.
Yeah, and I will say during my reading portions, I might be dyslexic for anyone who
Oh, same.
I mean, I that is a recent thing that I think I've not been diagnosed or anything like that. I should probably go get tested, but I think I might. I'm not going to diagnose myself and say I have it, but I think I might have it.
I feel the same way about like ADD or ADHD a little bit. I think we've just talked about this, but we're not self-diagnosing boys out here.
No.
We don't subscribe to that. If you think there's something going on with your mental health or just something, learning disability or something like that, go get tested. Don't just self-diagnose on the internet.
They pay
get
people
help
to give accurate diagnoses. So
exactly. That is our important take of the day. So we got important take of the day, and also we have pop culture pickup, which we're going to go ahead and do before we get into these stories. Did you forget your pop culture
I didn't forget, but I didn't really pick up anything. I do have something right here on my desk that I can just use as like a cop out.
This is usually what I do anyways as myself. So
So these are something I thought they were going away for the summer, but I went to Walmart the other day and these were sitting in the front. I thought they had all sold out, but Jaws lottery tickets.
Oh shit.
I bought 4.
Oh my
1 0.
That is actually amazing. Are you going to scratch them at all?
No, I just scanned the barcode on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
They're all losers.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh, that's rough.
No.
Hey, they might be able to hold on to them. They might become something.
They have second chance. I can win a trip to Martha's Vineyard if I do the second chance thing.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey, to be fair, anything with that shark on it, Ben's going to pick up. That is a pop culture fact. I was
every time I go to the store with my girlfriend, I'm like, tell me if you see the 4-letter word. The 4-letter red word.
4-letter word.
That's all it means. If there's a 4-letter red word, I buy it.
I love that.
Which is dangerous.
It really is. He went and watched a 4D, which I guess we could get into it a little bit. You know,
We
you
can
talk
talk.
about it. You were really excited about it, so you know, you go ahead and yap about it for a minute.
Okay. So yeah, yesterday I went and saw Jaws the 50th anniversary showing in theaters. I went to see it, and it wasn't technically 4D. It was like close to the 4D experience. It's called D-Box, like where the seats shake and stuff like that. It doesn't have like the water spring or stuff like that that modern 4D has. It's more like old school 4D. But yeah, I had seen Jaws in 3D back in 2022 when that had its release for the big National Cinema Day. But yeah, I went and saw that yesterday, and oh, dude, the 3D in that movie is impeccable. And
I feel like it's saying a lot too for movies made in like that time period.
yeah, that wasn't originally shot for 3D, which I think is like the big thing, that it wasn't shot for it. And so they had to go back and piece it all together like that. And dude, man, and with the D-Box seats, once they get on the boat for the second half, that, in my opinion, when they actually get on the boat and start hunting the shark, that's when it gets boring to me. But dude, your seats are like you're on the boat for the rest of the movie. So
you're like,
yeah, you're doing that the entire, yeah, exactly.
That's actually pretty sick. That's actually really sick.
Yeah, it honestly, that alone makes it worth going to see.
I love hearing that. We might, maybe next episode, maybe we can talk about like old movies and alterations and stuff like that, because I know that's a really big thing going on with the Sphere.
Yes.
So, but we can save that for another one. This is Reddit stories.
Yes. Drake's pop culture pickup.
Yep. Real quick, I'll do this and then we'll get on our way. So I am choosing my very beautiful Frankenstein throw pillow.
Oh, look at that. Is
Absolutely beautiful.
Is it licensed or is it an illegal product?
I think it's an illegal product. I got this at the Gathering of the Ghouls. Comes through
disturbing.
Phoenix, Arizona, put on by Terror Trader every year. I gathered it from one of their vendors. It's fantastic. I love it. It's got the original. It's like the actual cover, which is great. I have a creature one too, but
definitely
it's
not
licensed.
licensed.
Yeah, no, and it's not its cover either. It's cool. I still like it,
no, they're awesome.
But yeah. So that's my little thing, little horror spooky throw pillows.
My thing used to be never get non-licensed product, but that has now shifted to not buy AI product, AI generated image product. I will now buy non-licensed if it's obviously not AI. Of course, there's going to be spots where we don't know, but
yeah, which we can, again, I think that'll be our next topic, talking about AI altercations to movies and stuff like that. We have mentioned the use of AI within ourselves before, but I think it'd be nice as opinions kind of shift, that we kind of maybe talk about our opinions a little bit more in depth about that. But anyways,
yeah,
let's go ahead and bring in the Reddit stories, horror stories. We have chosen 2 each, so 4 in total. If you would like to come and sit with us, whether it be in the morning, on your daily drive, or whatnot, let's just get into it.
Your first or second bathroom visit of the day. Men, you can probably get this whole podcast in one bathroom visit.
I hear that a lot. I spend a lot of time in the restroom, so.
Hey, that's your alone time.
You want to go first, or
yeah,
you want me to go first?
I got a short one here. Like I told you, I have one that's actually from a comment section of a Reddit thread.
Oh, nice. What? Go ahead. I'll let you do your thing.
Or not really. I'm not on Reddit too much. It sounds like you haven't had too much experience on Reddit yourself.
No, I literally got Reddit.
This is like their first.
Very specific. Okay. Yeah, so we're very rusty on the Reddits and subreddits and stuff like that. But I did do a little bit of a deep dive on some subreddits I could pull from. Both of mine are from the same subreddit. So.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I have I've been on Reddit a lot more in the past year, so I know what I'm doing, but I haven't been on it like where some of these people have accounts that are like 14 years old. Well, I'll just start here. I'm gonna do this backwards. If you guys know the comment, let me know in the comments if you're on YouTube or if you're on a platform that allows comments. Let me know if you've seen this one, but I'm reading it kind of backwards. I'm going to give the background first, and then I'm going to go into the short story. So, some background. My older son. Oh, I'll say this is from the post from 2 months ago when this was recorded on Reddit/ghosts, titled "Ghost Stories. Share any real life ghost stories you know. The spookier, the better."
But you said it's r/ghost stories.
Yep, r/ghost stories is like
That's
the
the one
community.
that I pulled from. That's what I pulled from too.
Perfect. All right, so some backstory. My older son used to talk about his ghost friend that he played with in his room. He had told us she had not had a name. She was just his ghost friend, and she didn't talk. We just always kind of thought that she was a harmless imaginary friend and didn't give too much thought about it until what happens here in the story. And they lived there for a year, and then so let me jump into this. So we were living in military housing in New Jersey. My wife had went to bed early. My 5-year-old and 3-year-old sons were in their bed, and I was watching TV. I heard a noise like a thump in my son's bedroom. I thought one of them maybe had gotten out of bed. I looked down the short hallway where their bathroom... Oh, I read that completely wrong. Where their bedroom was, and saw nothing initially. Then I saw an 8 to 9-year-old girl in a light blue dress walk out of the room towards the bathroom across the hall. It took a few seconds to register that I didn't have a daughter, and so that wouldn't make sense that she was walking out of the room. I immediately went into the bathroom and there was nothing. No one was there. I went to my son's bedroom and both of them were asleep. No. He again says nothing was there, and I can't explain it. And then that was the last time that he saw it. So it was like kind of like a one and done situation.
Interesting, huh?
That sounds like something that would happen in like a Conjuring movie.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, it's a very standard ghost story, with the kid with the imaginary ghost friend, the creepy girl in the old timey nightgown. Like, it is hitting a lot of bullet points that you hear in classic stories. Not to say that that makes me feel like it's legitimate. I mean, you could also argue that maybe these are bullet point story points because it's something that a lot of people have experienced.
Yeah.
As far as creepiness goes, I mean, it's like I said, very standard ghost story.
Yeah. Copy paste.
Exactly. Which, I mean, kind of makes me feel a little iffy about it. Like, I don't know. It's a good one. It's just very standard. I think it's just my best takeaway from it.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I didn't see anything too crazy on my hunt for ghost stories.
No, that makes sense. Did anyone leave any comments or anything about it?
Oh, let's see. And no, it just got 12 upvotes.
Okay.
No comments or anything.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe I should tag our podcast once we upload it and be like, hey, we just covered this.
Come take a look at our opinions on your ghost story, and if you do see it, leave some more context in the comments too.
Yeah,
we love hearing.
We love it.
Yeah, I think and I always explain this to people as like someone who's like a skeptic of the supernatural and religion and stuff like that. I am still interested in it, and I love hearing people's beliefs and opinions and experiences and stuff like that. I think again, it kind of goes with that whole like not legitimify, not making you feel like that it's not genuine. Like it's just it's something that people, it's just a different thing for people to experience, and I always think that's cool. So
yeah. Absolutely.
So
ciao.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and go with this next one here. It's a little bit longer than that. It also does come from r/ghost stories. It was posted a month ago.
Oh, both of mine are.
And both of them.
Yeah, I just found out the other one was too.
And this one is called "What Happened the Night I Decided to Kill Myself."
Oh.
Yeah. So this might be a little bit of a trigger warning for some folks who may not want to hear about that kind of stuff. You might, I don't know if we're going to have like things, but you might want to skip ahead for this one.
I'll try to put timestamps in the description.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. They marked this as an experience. So they said, "This is a story I heard from a woman I recently became friends with. She told me this really happened to me, and then shared the whole story. 8 years ago, after being severely bullied at work and having her entire personality denied, she decided to end her life. She placed her suicide note and will, including things like the location of her insurance papers, who should receive her savings and passwords, into her wallet, and went to the top floor hallway of an old apartment building with seemingly weak security. But dying sober was, after all, terrifying. With alcohol and sleeping pills in her system, she was totally out of it, hyped up in a strange, reckless mood, and leaned forward, shouting, "Here I go." Then, when she happened to glance down, there was a prior guest. But something was strange. The same hairstyle as hers, without a doubt, the exact same clothes, and the clothes she was wearing weren't even sold in stores. There was no way someone else could have just coincidentally be wearing the exact same thing at this exact moment. As she was about to leap forward toward the next world, a new frontier as she saw it, the strange sense of hibernation suddenly drained away. I don't know what that word is, but we're going to keep going. We should probably get better at English if we're going to keep doing this, honestly. A prior guest, they died. They're dead, right? But something's off, she thought as she leaned over to get a better look. The scene was horrifying, grotesque. She could smell blood and even something like burnt flesh. There is no way smells from below should reach this high up, so why could she smell them? The body had its legs bent in unnatural directions, arms twisted, the spine sticking out from the back, one eyeball popping out of the face toward sideways, and brain matter oozing from the skull. This is very descriptive.
Yeah.
This is a very descriptive story. And yeah, do you have anything you want to say about this yet?
I mean, it's a lot of adjectives.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Anyways, yeah, so brain matter oozing from the skull, and yet despite how nuanced it was, she couldn't look away. As she stared at it, she finally realized what was off. Wait, this can't be real. That's me. Just a few minutes from now, the moment she realized it, a chill ran straight down her spine. If that's how I'll end up, no, I'm not doing this, she thought, and turned back home. When she got home, overwhelmed with a storm of emotions, her mother gently stroked her head and pulled her into a warm hug, smiling faintly as she whispered, "Welcome back, you made it just in time." At that moment, it was like something inside of her broke and she broke down sobbing. Her mother seemed to know something, but didn't say a word about it. After deciding not to go through with her suicide, something shifted inside her. The workplace bullying rapidly faded. Her work began to be recognized. She made friends and found allies, and she left the company peacefully after getting married. She told me this: "To this day, I don't know who or what that me who died before I could just jump really was. I don't know why I saw something like that either. But thanks to seeing myself as mangled and broken from the jumping too soon, I'm still alive today."
That's crazy.
That is actually really intense. And I think one of the first things that kind of jumped to my mind is um, how messed up on alcohol and drugs she was,
Yeah.
you know? Not again, not dis dislegitimifying. I need to find out what that exact word is because I keep trying to say it and I feel stupid not getting it right.
I see. I don't even know. I can't even
Delegitimifying it? Delegitimifying?
Delegitimizing?
Something like that.
I can't even correct you because I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know what the word is either.
Yeah, but there was a lot of substances involved in this story, which obviously substances usually equals hallucinations. Yep. Still a really dark story. I think what she did see was definitely real. Like she experienced this.
If this is true, then
yes. This is also a very well told story.
Yeah.
As far as how the person who wrote this wrote it. This is intense. I can't imagine what it would be like, not just seeing a dead body, but then realizing that what you're looking at is yourself in the future.
Yeah. That also sounds like it'd be in a movie.
Dude. Well, remember, they did that in kind of American Horror Story. Spoiler alert, season 1. The main girl in that did find her actual dead body under the house rotting. And it was equally as grotesque as this story described it.
Man, love the Farmigas. They are the queens of horror.
They really are. I'm trying to find it because there was a comment here that actually made me want to read this story, and it was someone who said that they had a similar experience.
Oh shoot.
Dang it, I can't find it. If I can,
I almost tricked us all today. I almost brought in a story from somebody that I know that they definitely saw. I was gonna have them write it down for me and send it to me, and I was gonna read that off. This little cop out. Yeah. I'm gonna try.
We could do ghost stories from personal ghost stories, or ghost stories from people we know and stuff like that.
I'd love to do our Reddit ghost stories or personal ghost stories, especially if we can get a guest on here.
I think it'd be fantastic
if we had another person. Yeah.
There is a comment on here that had 6 upvotes. It says the last part reminded me of when I was a kid. Oh, here it is. When I was a kid and tried to kill myself, my mother told me if I get in trouble one more time, there would be some serious consequences. Well, I got in trouble one day at school, and that, amongst other reasons, was enough for me to take out my hunting rifle and try to do it. I turned off the safety and pulled the trigger, but the safety was back on somehow. It made me think something had intervened, and I took it as a sign and put the gun away. An hour or so later, my mom got home, and she was in the best mood and was so nice to me and never mentioned me getting in trouble.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. So I guess I should have looked more into that comment there. But point being is like this idea of the other side intervening from you taking your own life.
Yeah.
And, having that sense of like, it's not your time yet. And to be fair, killing yourself in general, it's obviously not your time, like, period.
Yeah.
But this idea of the afterlife even being like, you have more to do, and intervening in your death and stuff is very interesting, and kind of, if you think about it, heartwarming in a sense, because even if this idea of seeing a mangled body with the brain oozing out and stuff like that, in the end of the day, it's someone who's trying to protect you.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of beautiful in its own weird, gross way.
Protecting
how they did
yourself.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10 story. I personally could see something like this being real, even if it was just hallucinations through alcohol and pills.
We should make a Rinfield Reddit account on like the email, and then leave comments on these being like, the ones that we want, and then be like, hey, we just talked about this on our podcast. So it brings people in.
I would love that. I was also thinking about clipping some of this on TikTok too.
Oh yes, that'd be good.
We can go over that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
we got a third story number 3. This one also on r/ghost stories. I think I might just put that the title, talking about r/ghost
stories. Well, everyone has their favorite subreddits to pull from. I know the big one right now is "Am I the Asshole?" is a really big popular one that people talk about. This is our little corner. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people are also just having artificial intelligence create "Am I the Asshole?" posts. I experimented with that.
Yes, he did. A liar, pants on fire.
Yep. But I will be very open about the fact that I experimented with it. I have not finished the video though.
This is legitimate. These are legitimate stories that we are finding. You could obviously go find them yourself.
I think we should also just make a Google Docs where we put all of our links in for here, and then I can
That'd be
put
a
them
good
all in
idea.
the description too.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so this one, like I said, also in r/ghost stories, something visited my house while my dad was on his deathbed. Experience.
Benjamin Luke Rinartz.
This is not a personal experience.
This was the story I chose.
Oh, is it?
This is the story I had.
Oh,
because
did I not send you the link to that?
no, because I asked you what they were, and you said I forgot what you said, but
oh my god! Okay, what? Okay, because this was the one I was gonna swap this out for something else, but I was reading this.
You know what? Go ahead. I'm sure we can. There's a reason why I chose this one, and we can talk about it when you do it. I will find something to replace this, and then next time we'll coordinate a little bit better.
Okay, I'm so sorry. This is not the one I was supposed to go with.
No, that's totally fine.
See, okay. Experience. I've been a paranormal skeptic my entire life, but this is the one experience I've had that I cannot explain with usual rationale. This occurred 4 days before my dad died. To set the scene, there were 5 people in my house. My dad, who is in comatose and near death at this point, and my mom, who have a bedroom upstairs, and then me, my brother, and my granddad, who all have bedrooms downstairs. That night, I was up late in my bedroom. Around 2 a.m., I hear a very distinct sound of human footsteps in the hallway outside my room, followed by the hallway light clicking on and off. I clearly heard the click of the light and saw the light under my door. I assumed it was my brother, but a few moments later, he knocked on my door and asks, "Were you in the hallway just now?" I replied, "No, that wasn't me. I thought it was you." "Well, if it wasn't either of us, who the hell was it?" "Who was it, Drake?"
It's a great question.
The only other people in the house who it could have been were my mom and granddad. If it was my mom, she would have had to descend an extremely creaky staircase to get into the hallway, and we would have heard that from our bedrooms. And the sound of the footsteps did not match my granddad, who drags his feet on the ground, and walks with a cane. Confused, I stepped out of my bedroom and went to granddad's door. I could hear his loud snoring from inside, confirming it was definitely not him. Then I went upstairs and peeked into my parents' room. My mom was fast asleep snoring as well. Thoroughly freaked out, I checked every other room in the house and verified that all doors and windows were locked, ruling out the possibility of some random intruder. By this point, my brother was nearly in tears because he was so scared. Neither of us were in a joking mood considering the family tragedy we were experiencing. So, I know he wasn't pulling my leg. The next day, I asked my mom if she was up walking in the hallway at 2 a.m. She confirmed she was asleep and hadn't left her room at all that night. This freaks me out so bad. Yeah, so bad because I'm so bad at reading.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine.
It freaks me out so bad because it's an event that has 2 witnesses, me and my brother, and we both heard/saw the exact same thing. We were up nearly 2 hours afterwards, scared as fuck, trying to come up with some rational explanation, but we have none. Maybe it was an angel of death. Maybe it was a dead relative visiting my dad. Maybe it was a fucking demon because the vibes of the house were so depressing at that point. I have no clue, but that's the one and hopefully only paranormal experience I've had. If anyone has any ideas about what it could have been, please let me know.
Interesting. Yeah, so first of all, the reason why I wanted to talk about this one was because I've had family share stories, ghostish type stories with me, and a lot of times when this happens, it seems to circle around a death in the family. Is whenever something happens, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know my dad, his grandpa, that was his best friend growing up. When he passed, um, the night that it happened, he had a dream that he inevitably passed, and it wasn't like he was on his deathbed or anything. I mean, yes, he was an older gentleman, but it wasn't like it was kind of unexpected in the sense,
Yeah.
and they late at night got a call, and my mom picked it up, heard the news, and when she came back, he my dad immediately knew. He was like, "Grandpa died, didn't he?" Because he already knew. He had this sense of being visited by his grandpa in
Mhm.
his dream, not necessarily like a waking experience, but still kind of supernatural nonetheless.
Yeah.
And he did also end up. This is going to be important for the next part. He did pass on the anniversary that him and his wife got married. So when my dad's grandma and grandpa got married, that's the day he passed many years later on their anniversary. Fast forward many years. I am alive now. I was not alive then. I am alive now, fully conscious and everything. Grandma's still alive, but she's in a nursing home. My great grandma's still alive. She's in a nursing home and stuff like this. And then one day she's talking to I think she's talking to my grandma,
Yeah.
and said something along the lines of like, Leon is calling me home, which Leon was my grandpa's first name.
Yeah.
And then inevitably many years later, on their anniversary, again, she ended up passing away, which
Holy
is
shit.
it's really weird to think about. Because there's sometimes you can pass things off as a coincidence, but something about this was weird. And even my grandparents were like, kind of, when she said something about Leon, about him, I think that's what his name was Leon.
Yeah.
They knew. She's like, I think grandma's going to pass on their anniversary, and sure enough, she did. So it's like this idea of, I've heard stories of pretty much people getting visited by past relatives around the time that a death occurs. So if I was to credit this story as something supernatural, that's what I would clock it as, is someone from the family visiting your dad.
Yeah.
And, like I said, this is something that members of my family have experienced as well. So I found the story kind of interesting. And as far as supernatural experiences go, something that I feel like I can relate to more so than other stories. So
Yeah. That's creepy. Very creepy.
It really is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have any takes on it?
I don't have any personal experiences or anything like that with something like this. I've heard of people who have. It's either something really creepy or just a whole lot of perfectly timed events.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting, and it's like, I don't know, something seems I kind of like the idea of like a family member who passed coming through and being like, hey, like, I did this, like, let me show you the ropes, So it's kind of like that idea of a comfort in the supernatural. I think a lot of times the supernatural gets this sort of sense of, it's always creepy, it's always malicious and stuff like that. When, thinking of like how I would view the supernatural, it's not always the case.
Yeah.
There's, just as there's good and evil in real life, there's going to be good and evil in the supernatural as well. It's not always bad. So I like it. I think it's a good story as well.
Maybe your great grandma was a medium and she didn't know it.
She could have been.
Yeah.
She could have been. I mean, I just kind of thought she was kind of low key senile.
Yeah.
Growing up, and I'm, she was, I was fortunate enough to be able to know 3 of my great grandparents growing up.
Yeah.
And out of
Same.
all of them, I felt like, yeah. Are any of them still around?
No, the last one died a couple years ago.
Yeah, my last one died in 2019.
Yeah.
This one,
No, mine was 2021. Oh man.
Okay,
I was about to think, man, that's
like that's weird.
yeah.
This one passed away. It was closer to, I want to say 2008 was when this happened. This was
Yeah.
like grandma who died in 2008 around that time. Um, and yeah, she was a little. I mean, you could tell she was in a wheelchair the whole time I knew her and stuff like that. She was very nice when I was really young, but towards closer to the time she was passing, like I said, she was in a nursing home, kind of
Little sundowner.
wasn't, yeah, unfortunately, and stuff like that. So, you know,
Yeah, thinking about it now, because there used to be like of things that like kind of like with the older senile people, like my great grandpa, he used to be like, who were these people that were at our house when such and such happened, or like later, like close to the end, like because they didn't put him into a nursing home until like he was close to going. And it makes you think, like, what if what they are seeing is not just them being senile? What if they are actually starting to see into the other world?
dude, that's actually kind of crazy to think about. That
'Cause-
is actually, you gave me goosebumps on that one.
Yeah.
Not even gonna lie, because it's like, if I don't know if anyone's ever been around an older person close to their time of death. I have with my grandma who passed away in 2019. I think is the closest experience that I had.
Yeah.
It's really sad. It really is. She was very, as far as my experience goes with it, she was very conscious of her time coming. She was fully aware. She was about, I want to say she was 98 years old
Yeah.
when this happened. And but to be fair, as a 98-year-old, extremely well. I think she was very fortunate. She never had to go into a nursing home. She did have one of her kids living with her, which I definitely think helped. However, she was still very cognitive. I don't even think she ever really walked around with a walker, let alone like need a wheelchair or anything. She got around very well for her age, but inevitably she was very, like I said, very self-aware of her time coming very soon. And the one thing that they never, they always say that they never tell you about growing to be super old is everyone around you that you knew and loved end up passing. All your friends are gone, family's gone. And she obviously had her son, she had my grandpa, she had us and stuff like that. But it wasn't like, her parents have been gone forever. Her brother was gone. All of her friends, these people that for the majority of your life are no longer there, and it's really sad. Honestly, I don't know where I was going with this, but it's. I guess the point would be like the idea of all these people coming to visit before they inevitably cross over. I think is an interesting way of looking at it.
That kind of makes me want to do like an investigation into that, like if there's somebody who's got like an old grandma or something who's going senile, and just see if there's like any activity going on around that.
That'd be crazy. That'd be really crazy, honestly.
Just have stuff shooting, go like for like a few days, like 3 or 4 days, and be like just always constantly rolling.
I feel like that would be what gets us canceled. Like you guys are doing a ghost investigation next to a grandma who's passing away.
I mean, or have you ever seen a haunted, like, not like, has anybody done an investigation on just a nursing home, like a modern nursing home?
Actually, that's kind of interesting.
That's not like an asylum.
You're right, because a lot of these places that people go to are abandoned and left deserted and stuff like that. And to be fair, if I was a ghost, I'd want to be hanging around the living. I'd want to be hanging around people that I know and stuff like that. I'm not trying to be hanging out in some dusty old ass place that doesn't even have electricity. Like, I'm still trying to play video games. I'm trying to listen to music still. Like, why are they going to be hanging out in the abandoned areas? They want to be hanging out with the folks that are, popping.
Yeah, I mean, as we learned from Ghost Hunters Academy, Well, you have the two kind of spirits. I forgot what the two names are. But you have the ones that are kind of just like stuck in like their everyday function, and then you have the ones that are aware of the fact that they're dead.
Got like the I know what you're talking about, because it's like ones that's like they don't really realize they're dead and they're just going through their everyday life. And if you interact, like if they interacted with me, they would think I was the ghost.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Or the other one is aware. And
the two types of ghosts. I'm looking this up.
We're doing a real quick search here, chat.
Residuals and intelligence. Was that what they were? Residual and that sounds right.
Because residual would be the one that would be like wandering, not really realizing they're dead, and then an intelligent one would be conscious of the fact that they're dead.
Yeah, because I think that'd be crazy to just go to a nursing home and be like, okay, what's the activity like?
Yeah, and I imagine at a funeral or a nursing home, you'd probably get a mix of those types of ghosts, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting. I don't know.
And then you'd have people who don't really know what's going on with their lives, and you ask them, and they're like, but there's a man standing right there. I mean, for all we know, if this stuff is real, then these old people that we just rule out as crazy might be the only ones that can actually see what we're trying to look for.
This is true. You might be, you know, I know a lot of people are like talking about like taking drugs and stuff, and we're talking about like hard, like stuff and like crazy hallucinogens and stuff. They always credit that to being when they can actually see the real world for what it is and stuff. And us with the sober minds are very, are the ones who can't see what's happening. You can kind of credit that being maybe to the same thing of like old folks and you know, their brain it's firing out that DMT. You know, it's firing the cylinders of the DMT, and it's, you know, maybe making them a little more.
They've unlocked 100% of their brain.
And this pretty much, yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Is like they're firing on all cylinders for the first time, and since we're younger and aren't in the realm of passing, like we don't see that, because that's one thing that I have been told about. Like real quick, changing the subject a little bit of like what DMT is. It's like a brain chemical that like fires out whenever you're like, from what I gathered, you're like close to death or you're dying, and that's when your brain lets out this like chemical. It probably more as a way to maybe calm your systems so it doesn't go into full panic mode, you know, kind of like a natural like anesthesia type of thing. But if you really want to maybe try to get philosophical with it, you could maybe think of it as a way of like your brain finally opening up to everything, you know? I imagine if you're an older person who's kind of, you know, maybe not necessarily on their deathbed, but they're definitely in their final years. I could definitely see there being a sense of that DMT kind of like firing out a little bit every once in a while and kind of giving you that like relaxed kind of like making sure that you don't panic over the fact that your body is literally deteriorating while you're still alive, you know? So
literally
there's probably a science behind it, and I could be completely debunked in like 10 seconds, but that's just my
Hey, if you want to debunk us, put it down in the comments.
You know, so you can synchronize. Hello, welcome back. Thank you. So I think that was a pretty good natural cutoff. I think we were kind of getting a little long-winded there.
Yeah,
but
40 minutes.
We're going to go ahead and I did find another story that I quickly was able to pick up that looked interesting by the title. Had a decent amount of upvotes from what I could tell. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into our last story and go from there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm curious. It's the one I just pulled up.
In case that'd be crazy. So in case, all these are coming from r/ghost stories. This was posted 10 days ago, called "Voices in My Parents' 200-Year-Old Farmhouse."
Oh, hopefully hopefully it's not on a modernized botched house. Hopefully, like the parents didn't modernize it, like the people from Faz go in.
It's that like millennial gray cottagecore bullshit,
modern
all over the natural wooding with this white. You know what they're doing to freaking Cracker Barrel right now?
I was just about to say, is the CEO of Cracker Barrel the same person who's running Phasmophobia?
Dude, take this person needs to just step down forever.
Hey, dude, the Cracker Barrel CEO is also the one that took all the stuff off the Taco Bell menu back in 2021.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Crazy.
That's a bipartisan
Anyway.
issue, Cracker Barrel is.
It really is.
Side you wrong.
That's what I'm hearing. Oh my god. That is I could talk about all the TikToks that have come up on my TikTok about this, but that wouldn't look good on us right now. So
It's a story for another podcast.
It's not my story to tell. Okay. Anyways, let's get into it. So, voices in my parents' 200-year-old farmhouse. So my parents moved into an old farmhouse that was originally built around the 1800s, but then revamped and extended in the early 1990s. Good job, you 1990s mofos. Anyways, during the revamp of the 1990s, they preserved original pieces of wood from the door frames and coins from the 1800s, amongst other items. These are now framed in my parents' house in various places. A few interesting things have happened. In the original part of the house, my parents' dog suddenly started barking in the corner of the room, then moved their head and growled as if they were following something or someone across the room. They then stopped when their head got to the door. Interesting. My parents are currently getting the kitchen redone, which again is part of the original house, currently gutting and new kitchen fitted in. They're doing it, Ben.
Oh, God.
They're revamping it. They're getting rid of the original house, L family. If you wanted the 1800s, someone would have appreciated that 1800s farmhouse.
Yeah.
Just how it was, and you're out here revamping it. L.
If there's nothing wrong with it, why fix it?
Exactly.
Only update for fiber optic internet.
Yeah, exactly. Amen. I mean, maybe if you do want a little bit of AC. Well, no, you got window ACs you can put in, depending on where this is at.
No, I support the AC. I don't want to be like the folks across the pond. Us Americans love our air conditioning.
This is true. This is coming from someone from Arizona, so that's probably where my immediate thought goes there. Anyways, let me go ahead and continue. So my dad was in the adjacent room one evening watching TV when he heard some movement in the kitchen. He didn't worry, as it was probably just my mum. MUM, this might be across the pond. Then he heard a male voice say clearly as say, that's what they said. Wow, look at the kitchen. I'm giving him an accent because it just feels right now.
Statement.
Wow, look at the kitchen. That was terrible. Anyways, I'm going to continue.
Are they Australian, maybe?
Maybe. There's somewhere that's not in the US.
Yeah.
Intrigued to see who my mum had over to see, he went into the kitchen. No one was there. He went back out of the kitchen and found my mum walking in the back door. Mum said she hadn't been in there and no one has been over to see the kitchen. I think more things could start happening now they are doing changes. Interesting. I love the idea that the original owner of this house is like looking at everything. He's like, wow, look what they've done to the place.
What the hell are you doing, mate?
He sounded more excited than he was like offended, So maybe they are doing a good job. He's like, finally, I don't have to live in this godforsaken wood shack anymore.
He's getting American Horror Story. He can't leave the property, but he sees all the neighbors' houses. Like all the other neighboring farmhouses are just modernized, and then he's in the one it's still original.
Dude, that is so funny. I love that. Is funny. I think this story is more funny than creepy to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, more than anything, just this idea of this ghost of some time period in the last 200 years. Just being excited that the kitchen was redone. Like, it's just so funny to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really have any notes on it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. There is someone who did say, I'm a bit confused. You say the house was built in the 1800s, unless I misread. Nothing about that would be from the time of Henry VII, who lived in 1975, 1909.
They're saying this is Henry VII?
Yeah, someone said they're saying where is the reference to Henry VII? I missed that. I also missed that.
I didn't catch it. What?
Yeah, I don't get that. I just picked a random comment to to comment on. That was what that was. And I think made this more confusing than it needed to be. I'm just trying to really base this off the other the other Reddit podcasts that I watch. And I was really hoping there'd be some more nuance in that comment. But there wasn't. That was horrible. Just confused the hell out of me.
I wonder if there were any comments on the one about the dad on the deathbed that we should look at.
That one, yes, I think that'd be good. I actually have that saved. I've been saving all of them.
I do too. Let's see.
Upvote these as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna upvote them too. I'll do it on my burner. Upvote that 19. Why am I not signed into Reddit on one of my windows? Like, I'm literally signed in on 3 different windows, and one of them is just like, too bad, buddy.
Bro. So here, I can go ahead and get us started. So with the one with the deathbed, the dad on the deathbed, top comment, I can't tell you for sure what it was, but I can say that when people are close to passing, that visitors from the other side will come to visit. It's usually family or close friends. It's nothing to be afraid of. And I'm sure they didn't mean to scare you. It's not like they can come back and apologize without scaring you further.
See,
so
comments like that just makes me just want to go to somebody's house, bring over get a few EMF detectors, set up like a whole CCTV system.
No, I think it's interesting, and I honestly I want to find more stories kind of like this. I think I think these are really interesting. And it is always funny, or not funny, but again interesting to me, of like people who their perception on the afterlife and the supernatural and stuff do kind of alter when someone really close to them passes.
Yeah.
This not necessarily become believers, but this idea of like when you pass there is nothing. That idea kind of shifts for some people. I have heard of people who were staunch, like, atheists and whatnot. And then when someone close to them passed away, they said that there was this comfort in this idea of being watched by that, that person and stuff like that. Not necessarily that they've ever physically seen them, but just like that feeling,
Yeah,
I don't really know where I was going with that, but
that's why it's the best time for a demon to prey on you.
Another one here. Another comment says, my dad had severe Alzheimer's and was in the memory care home. One evening we were there and we told him it was time for bed. He said something like, you have to get that person out of it first. We told him no one was in the bed and he yelled, get them out. After much discussion amongst us kids and our mom and doctors, he was moved into hospice care. He died the next day. Here's the weird thing. I am a paranoid schizophrenic, and I saw the person in the bed too. I kept quiet because I didn't want to ever
what?
God, I really need to learn words. Make my dad more aggressive, pretty much. But someone was there.
That wasn't me reacting to your reading. That was me reacting to the story. That's weird. Why am I muted?
No.
There we go.
There you go.
I don't know why I was muted on Discord for some reason. I don't know if I muted myself before or after, but I reacted to it, and it was right when it went. Gosh, I need to learn words, because I went like, or like reacting to like what you're reading, and it wasn't because of your reading. I want to clarify that in case anyone comments. No, that was me reacting to the story Drake was reading.
Yeah, that one's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that one. I feel like there's a difference between being schizophrenic and like seeing, I don't know how to say this without maybe coming out too harshly, but I feel like with that comment specifically, like schizophrenia isn't like, it's been proven that like schizophrenia, you're not seeing something that's actually there. It's not like a superpower of you seeing into the other world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so something about that comment feels uneasy to me a little bit. I'm sorry. That
so creepy.
Comes off a little wrong. But I mean, it's not like you're seeing ghosts that's not what schizophrenia is. So,
Well, allegedly schizophrenia means you have superpowers. So,
you could say that about anything if you really think about it.
what movie is that? Is that Split? Or no, that's
Is
the
it
sequel.
Split?
I don't know. I think it's a Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I guess to also be fair, you also can't discredit just because someone is schizophrenic doesn't necessarily mean that they can't see ghosts too,
Yeah.
Schizophrenic people can see ghosts too. We don't, ghosts probably don't discriminate. Maybe they even they do show themselves a little bit more to schizophrenic people.
Maybe. Yeah.
I just completely counteracted everything I said beforehand. That's kind of crazy.
That's okay.
We're just yapping here. We're just saying things.
Exactly. That's what this show's about. It's just about 10 to 20 minutes of actual content and 30 to 40 minutes about nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I think that's all the ones we have currently, which, I mean, I thought this was kind of fun. This was kind of cool. I think this was a nice little experiment for us.
I think it'd be a fun monthly thing to do. Every month we do like a ghost stories thing. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think this would be fun. Ben, was there a specific one that you enjoyed more than the others by chance?
It was definitely, I enjoyed Something Visited the House on my dad's deathbed. I think just because of the impact that one has and the fact that we both picked it.
Yeah, I think that I would agree. That one was the story of the day. Had a great conversation afterwards. I think it was really cool. I think next time, I feel like this time around, we definitely did choose stories that we felt were maybe a little more grounded, could possibly be real and stuff like that. I think next time I'm going to be prepared with some more intense stories. Yeah.
That's what I wanted initially.
Yeah. But. Yeah. So we're going to, like we said, we're kind of Reddit newbies, but this was fun nonetheless. So
absolutely. If you guys all enjoyed it, make sure you come back next week, or if we don't do it next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll podcast again. Obviously, you'll see us. But anyways, thank you for listening. My name is Drake.
I'm Benjamin.
And we'll see you next time.
Hasta la pasta.